Bold and understand here. So check this out. Allegedly, the IBF is going to be stripping Canelo Alvarez because he's taking a fight with Edgar Berlanga. So allegedly, Canelo will not be undisputed. More to come tomorrow. However, I'm going to say this. How is it that the corrupt IBF system or organization all of a sudden want to strip Canelo now after all of these years being in the Canelo business? Just like the other sanctioning bodies, they've been feeding, especially these past couple years, Canelo, you know what I'm saying, like really no real challenge for his belts and whatnot. And it was so funny because when Canelo made up those excuses about why he lost to Bevo said, I come down to your weight and I'll fight you for your belts. Since I already beat you at my weight and you want to make excuses, Canelo turned that down. He turned that down. He ain't want no parts of Bevo in the rematch, but act like he did. Act like he was the man after he beat up Charlo, a guy who didn't even come to fight on that night last year. However, I think there's a play in this. So I'm going to look at it like this. Canelo currently has beaten 21 champions. And Floyd Mayweather basically had beaten about 23 or 24 champions. I could kind of see this being a play. Whereas though Vladimir Shishkin and William Scope fight for the belt, the winner, they're going to make that match with Canelo. And that'll be like another champion that Canelo beat under his belt. But it's just crazy at the end of the day. The IBF, who is so corrupt, did something that the corrupt WBC didn't even do when David Benavidez has been mandatory forever now. Now I look online, right? I go on X. And of course, Canelo fanboys are out there. They're out there saying, why didn't David Benavidez activate his mandatory? David Benavidez done explained this to y'all too many times, that the WBC isn't allowing him to fight Canelo. They give him one story. They say, okay, well, if Canelo don't, get in negotiation and fight you by this date, you'll be the mandatory where it forced the mandatory. They never did. They don't do that because they want to get that Canelo 3%. That's exactly what they want to do. They want that Canelo 3% money. And I mean, money-wise, business-wise, I guess it's kind of smart on their end. They just fucked up on the integrity side of things. That's what they fucked up at. So to sit here and try to say, why didn't David Benavidez activate his mandatory? How many of you idiots did not realize that Canelo done told you in so many ways that he did not even want to fight David Benavidez? For one, he criticized him. When the questions started coming before, they talking about, oh, who has he beat? He only beat one champion. That's the only person he beat, one champion. That was at the time before David Benavidez actually fought Killer Plant and Demetrius Andrade. But they said, oh, he only beat one champion. But now David Benavidez had beat 4 champions. You know what I'm saying? Former champions, if that's what you want to call it. But Canelo came up with another excuse. I don't want to fight any Mexicans because I represent Mexico. But then he turns around and fights Jaime Munguia. He turns around and fights Jaime Munguia. And nobody says nothing about this shit. What's his next excuse? David Benavidez only brings in 25 extra pounds the night of the fight. Are you kidding me? That's your excuse? So the man that made weight because he brings in 25 extra pounds, according to you, the night of the fight, you don't want to fight him. But when Canelo was fighting at 154, he was bringing in a lot of extra weight. You know what I'm saying? The night of the fight. But you don't hear him complaining about that, right? Matter of fact, when Canelo fought Dimitri Bivol, for Dimitri Bivol belt at 175. The next day, they did an unofficial weigh-in next day. There wasn't no rehydration clause or none of that shit. But it's been recorded that Canelo came in heavier the day of the fight. And I know people say, well Dimitri Bivol is a bigger guy. Yeah, he's taller. Taller doesn't necessarily mean bigger, because when I look at something big, I'm talking about mass wise. That's how I measure, as far as weight. They say, oh, Canelo's a small guy. Okay, he's a small guy. Why? Because he's short? Because he's 5'8"? Oh, okay, he's the only 5'8" guy that fought above, what, 168? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Y'all be killing me with these damn excuses and whatnot. Y'all say he's too small for David Benavidez, the guy who fights at 168. But yet y'all say he's too big for Terrence Crawford, even though, because y'all like to use the height measurements, him and Terrence Crawford the same height, but yet y'all say he's too big for Terrence Crawford. See, this shit, y'all just be moving the goalposts all over the place. Y'all can't even be consistent with it. Y'all can't even be consistent with this shit. Then on top of that, this motherfucker decides to fight Edgar Berlanga. And it's funny because Edgar Berlanga hasn't beat no champions. Just like I said in my last video, Edgar Berlanga hasn't beat any goddamn body at all. This is the same man who struggled against Jason Quigley. Jason Quigley. I see people in the comments talking about, well, David Benavidez, he couldn't even take out Alexander Gvozdyk. Like, as if Alexander Gvozdyk has been stopped by a bum or some shit. Or like he's really chinny. Alexander Gvozdyk only got stopped by Artur Beterbiev, a guy with 100% ratio. Knockout ratio. The fuck y'all talking about? He couldn't take out Alexander Gvozdyk. Okay, well, Edgar Berlanga couldn't even take out Jason Quigley, a guy who's been stopped by Usain fans and Canelo dick riders, like they call a horrible fighter, in Demetrius Andrade in 2 rounds. But y'all all over the place with y'all excuses, man. Y'all need to give it up, man. Canelo ain't gonna come on, knock on your door. He's not gonna take y'all to Six Flags. He's not gonna sit up here and have you hang out with him for the day. Talking about, oh, spending the day with Canelo. Let's spend the day with Canelo, hang out with him, take all these pictures and everything. He ain't got time for all that with y'all. Y'all doing too much, man. Y'all doing too much. Y'all can't even be the fan of boxing that y'all claim to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand. Of course you're going to be a fan of somebody being a fan of boxing. But at the end of the day, some of y'all just venture off into groupie zone. Groupie fucking ozone layers or some shit, man. Like, I just don't understand this crap, man. This is just terrible. That's all I got. Bold and understanding, I'm out. Peace.